How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video, and today I'm joined by Zenrot, and we are going to be going over the current summonable legendary rares. And in before they finally announced the newest one, and we just have to do this video again. Yeah, introduce yourself.
Hi, it's me.
Hi.
I've been with Alex on other videos before. I do video game stuff. There you go. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, of course. His channel will be linked down below, and I think that this is going to be a bit of a controversial one. To some people, maybe a bit straightforward.
A bit of a controversial one?
Yeah, just a bit. I know that oh god, I have my personal preference, but overall, I know which one does reign supreme, and it's just undoubtedly the best card in the game at the moment. He just hasn't been touched by any of the 120 leads. So there is one person that could potentially dethrone him, and that's if the current Vegeta Blue Dokkan awakens into the legendary rare. And now that I think about it, it's actually perfect because he is the physical one, and the only summonable legendary rare that is missing is the physical one. So I think Bandai was planning that from the start, and they were just like, you know what, this character is extremely popular, he's physical, he's the right type, and we are just going to... It was basically rigged from the start for this man to be the next legendary rare, right?
Well, you know, they released this poll, right? And you look at it, and already you can eliminate like 90% of the people on the list. Because like nobody's voting for the Metal Cooler Army. You know what I mean? I apologize to 3 people that wanted to vote for him that are watching this video. They're like, excuse me, I was going to. But you knew from the start it was going to be Super Saiyan 4 Goku, or it was going to be Vegeta Blue, whichever one ended up getting enough steam behind them in the beginning. And that was definitely Vegeta Blue. He exploded a lot faster than I thought he was going to.
Yeah, Beerus was a good option as well. I know that a lot of people want to see a new card for Beerus because his current ones aren't that great, but I just don't see him winning. I think he had a good chance if Vegeta Blue wasn't there, but he's just...
I'm surprised at how much love Beerus got, actually.
Yeah,
a lot of people came out for Beerus, but I feel like it's a bit of a lost cause in the end, because Vegito is Vegito.
Yeah, the way I see it is that, why pick the losing side? You might as well vote for Vegeta Blue, right?
Yeah, I mean, Vegito was already like the ultimate fan service character. So you knew from the start his chances of winning were huge. And pretty much every mock poll anyone put up, he was #1 by like a huge margin. So...
Beerus was a close second, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku was there as well. But yeah, I think it's pretty much expected for Vegito to win. Like, the only thing that they... Well, the only thing about him that is going to be different if he is in fact the new legendary rare, and if you Dokkan awakens from the current one, is his leader skill, because in comparison to the other ones, it's for, you know, a specific type, and he gives 90%, but if it sticks with heroes, that is going to change to just a high percentage, right? So it will be interesting to see what they do with that, and if he actually does Dokkan awaken from his current one, because if he does, he is most likely going to dethrone the best LR in the game. And that's all I'm going to say, so I don't want to spoil the video. Trying to be conspicuous here. Okay, so in the #4 spot, like, this man was just shafted from the very start. And of course we have the Agility Majin Vegeta. I believe he is the only one. Wait, I was about to say he's the only one so far that hasn't been featured. I mean, Goku Black and this one hasn't been featured as either, so I suppose they are on the same wavelength. In the future, they could definitely feature some of these, but the thing about Majin Vegeta in comparison to the other ones is that he doesn't have a farmable super attack to start off with. Granted, I mean, if you spent thousands of stones on these particular banners, you may have pulled enough tech ones to feed into a super attack.
Yeah, that's true. See, it was a plan from the beginning. They were like, well, they're already... His rate's 0.0001%, so they'll pull 20 tech ones, before they even get him.
Oh my god. I bet you that was their plan from the very start. Okay, so even if you take, like, just that aside, even if you are lucky enough to get, like, what, 19 or 20, however many you need, this man does not have Fierce Battle, which is a link that every other legendary rare has. And his link set overall, in comparison to some of the others, is just so bad, especially for his particular team. His main link is over in a flash, and we spoke about this before the video. The main units with that link, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, which no one really uses. Yeah, Super Saiyan Gold Goku.
Don't forget AGL Kaioken. Don't forget him. Yeah, he's in there.
Like, the best card in the game.
Best card in the game.
I mean, the thing about Super Saiyan God Goku is that he still does have some potential in the future, and if he does Dokkan Awaken, he will most likely be an optimal unit. But for the time being, if you don't have, like, if you have an optimal team, like the Optimal 6, you are most likely not going to use him. But when it comes to the, well, he himself as a lead, you're most likely going to run him, right? And his best friend is going to be Rose, because he does give that free key.
Not that that's a bad best friend to have.
It's not a bad best friend, but even if, like, that free key is essentially equivalent to Overrun Flash anyway.
Yeah.
So, in a way, it just doesn't really work out for him. I mean, you could put him in the middle, you could have Rose at the start, and maybe an Overrun Flash unit at the end. You could have the agility support, but is that going to be enough to get into his 18-key super attack? Because he debatably has the hardest 18-key super attack to get to. At least with Broly, you have multiple prepared for battle units, and of course if you want to run an Orb Changer as well. And if you have the Transcendent Ultra Red Broly, they share a key link that is specific to Broly's, right?
They do, yeah. It's whatever that hatred of Prince King Vegeta or whatever it is.
Yeah, something like that.
Grudge against King Vegeta.
So, like, having those two together instantly makes it a bit easier to launch his 18-key super attack, and in comparison to Majin Vegeta, it's just like, he just, well, like, one of the best things about Broly is that he is valuable outside of just Dokkan events as well. And like you said, he is probably the most valuable one to have, because he's good in the World Tournament, he's great for Dokkan events as well, and he just completely destroys Majin Vegeta when it comes to that as well, because it doesn't require as much maintenance.
It's funny, because he's the one that came out right after Majin Vegeta. So, you know, exactly. Majin Vegeta came out and everyone was like, oh shit, we got an LR that can do AoE. That's awesome. That, you know, that's really cool. And then Bandai was like, yeah, I'm really glad that you got him. Here's Broly, who's better in pretty much every way. The only big plus that Majin Vegeta has is having the highest modifier on his 12-key super. That's nice.
Well, he has the highest one out of any of them.
No, but you know how they have the LRs have the two different super modifiers at 12 and 18?
Oh yeah, he has it for both, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has his 12 has the same modifier that Broly would have at 18. It's not like it matters because Broly supers twice, but it is nice that you don't have to get him to 18 key if you don't want to.
Yeah, it's like they planned ahead. They're like, okay, it's not very likely that you're going to get him to 18 key the majority of the time, so they might as well make his 12 key super attack just as like, is it stronger than his 18 key? Because I think it is.
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah, so his 12 key is stronger, so it's kind of pointless going for his 18 key.
Unless you want in the World Tournament, but then that's like impossible because you don't have double leads. So he ends up being terrible in the World Tournament too because of how much maintenance you have to do to get him to super.
And if you don't have any orb items, you're just like pretty much screwed. He can one-shot everything pretty much. Well, can he one-shot tech types? I don't think he can.
I'm sure he can. He's,
I mean, at the right super attack level, maybe. But what about the new difficulty?
I haven't done 30x, so I don't know.
Yeah, like that could, like, potentially tech types could survive, but if he's at super attack 20, he will most likely take him out. But
you know
poor
who
guy,
can? Broly.
Broly can, and guess what? His free ability is crit as well, which just destroys this man even more. Man, like, what do you think when they made this card? I think he was kind of shafted from the moment that they decided to go with Majin Vegeta, because at least if it was like Super Saiyan Blue or just another event, even Super Saiyan 3, they could have awakened him with, you know, Fierce Battle medals or Dokkan Awakening medals instead of medals from a story event, and that was his downfall from the start.
I think that he was shafted the moment they decided that they should make one Vegeta, because that's a time-honored tradition in Dokkan headquarters to make sure that Vegeta's not that good in comparison to everyone else around him.
The Super Saiyan 4s, for example. I mean, you could argue that Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta is now better than Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, but let's not talk about that. That's a very rare occasion. Okay,
it's a different video.
Yeah, now this is my favourite one, and this man, or these guys, could potentially, okay, keep that in mind, they could potentially be the best LR in the future, but for now, they aren't. And of course we have LR, Rose Goku Black, and Zamasu, and, like, here's my argument. Like, he is the most practical one for a player that is just starting out, in my opinion, and one of the reasons why is because he provides more than just attack. So he can attack, of course, and hit pretty damn hard. He has defensive capabilities as well, and he can heal up. And to a player that doesn't necessarily have the greatest team, this is potentially more valuable to you than someone that can just hit hard. It's not to say that hitting hard isn't valuable, but I think that if you don't have optimal units, he could potentially serve a bigger purpose than someone that can hit hard. And his link set, for one, is great. He has Prepared for Battle, Big Bad Bosses, Fear and Faith as well. The only link that could have potentially made this man better, or these guys, I'm going to get confused a lot, is the Super Saiyan link. And I think that if they gave him that particular link, it still wouldn't push him up the list, but it definitely would have increased their damage output overall. But let me know what you think, because I know that you like them, but you aren't necessarily the biggest fan.
I think he's a great card. I think the design of making you have to get hit over and over again to increase your damage output might have been cool like a while ago, before the meta became, hey, did you know these cards can kill this boss in one hit? Now it's just kind of, what's the point? Because yeah, Goku Black does hit really hard. I mean, when he gets a few stacks, he starts hitting really hard. But guess what? Gohan didn't even get hit, and the fight's over.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's my big complaint. And then, like you mentioned, he's practical because he offers all of that stuff. But Gohan is also practical because Gohan, we'll talk more about him when we get there. But he's the most stupidly designed card ever because he's completely self-sufficient. He doesn't even need a supporting cast.
He is way ahead of his time.
And he's the first one. I'm not wrong in that, right? He was the first one?
He was the first one.
Shit's stupid. But yeah, no, Goku Black and Zamasu are a really good card. But I think that they're kind of just falling into the same trap that a lot of the more defensive card, like Janemba, the same trap he's stuck in right now, where like he's really cool and he's uniquely designed and he's got a lot of like interesting stuff about him that makes him fun to use, but the game is just too easy to need him to do any of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's not necessary, especially if you have an optimal team. And one argument that you did make, and I kind of have to agree with, is you can't say that Super Saiyan 4 Goku is better than Vegeta, but you can't say that Black is better than the others, right?
Well, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Like, Super 17 and I think D-Free's the one who brought these two up specifically. Is Super 17 and LR, Rose, and Zamasu are basically the same card.
Yeah.
Super 17 takes a little bit less damage on hit, and Rose has the heal, but effectively they do the same thing. And you don't see anybody really going to bat for Super 17, calling him one of the best 120s out there. You know? I don't think anyone has ever said that on all my days playing this game. I don't think
I'd say he's underrated, but he's not like super crazy by any means.
I'll sign off on underrated, but I don't see anyone going up trying to say, you know, he's in the same tier as Gogeta or Goku or anyone like that. You know what I mean? And so it kind of falls in the same thing, where if you want to say that Black is the greatest because he can do all these things, but then you want to say Super Saiyan 4 Goku is better than Vegeta or Super 17 because they die in one hit anyway, well, that applies to Gohan and Black too.
Yeah, exactly. You can't argue that. And, I mean, like I said earlier, he could potentially definitely make his way up this particular list. But for now, unless the meta changes, it most likely will be in this position for a while. But who knows? Maybe one day, my favourite villain will be up there. Alright, well, in the second spot, I mean, there are particular situations where he could potentially be better than the #1 spot. And, of course, once you find out who it is, you will know who is in the #1 spot. But
well, you already know who's in the #1 spot anyway.
You already know who's in the #1 spot, let's be real here. So, we have BROLY, and upon his release, like you said, he just absolutely shat on Majin Vegeta because his 12 key is his AoE attack, and he super attacks twice. And that is one of the things that allows him to actually come close to Gohan, and the fact that his free ability is crit also help him out massively. And, you know, the fact that he's actually featured and is a lot easier to pull than the others helps him out as well. And of course, you can use the Transcended Ultra Rare version in, you know, together with this particular BROLY, and like we said, he does share that particular link with this LR BROLY, which will allow him to get the 18 key super attack much easier. And if I'm not mistaken, he actually has the highest attack stat, right?
I believe so, yes.
So yeah, he has the potential to be the hardest hitter here, and in certain occasions he is. He has the farmable super attack, and so does Black and LR Gohan, of course, which means that
all of them but Vegeta.
the poor outcast. And I know that a few people may bring up the defense, but does it even matter when he's just going to take everything out in one turn?
Yeah, I mean, there is an argument there, because I think that the meta not favoring defense doesn't necessarily mean that it's okay to have defensive liabilities. Like, I think that's a big knock against Super Saiyan 3 BROLY, is that it's true that it's okay if people don't gain defense. Like, no one's faulting Gogeta for not getting a 100% defense buff. But it's another thing when you make yourself a handicap in the transition from attacking, but the game's just not there yet. I think when the game starts progressing and starts getting harder, because, you know, you saw the same thing when the original gods came out, when, like, Super Vegeta came out, and he just shit on everything.
Counters.
Just everything. And you can still beat any event with him up through his meta life cycle. But when the events toward the end with like Omega Shenron started to get pretty difficult. Like Omega was hard. Broly, I'm sure Broly can beat it. I'm sure someone's done it. But it wasn't easy. Gotenks struggled too, and I mean Super Vegeta obviously didn't. But like, we're gonna hit that point eventually, where fights start getting to the point where you can have all this stupid crap and still struggle. And that's the point where Broly users are gonna start being like, well, I need to plan my moves out a lot better because all of a sudden I'm not killing everything in one hit, and then I'm taking 150,000 damage back,
To be fair, it's not as bad as Super Saiyan 3 Broly because...
Well, he still gets to keep some.
I mean, at least his defense can't go down to 0, which is just, like, terrible. Like, if you get super attack straight after you attack with Super Saiyan 3 Broly, you are most likely going to die.
I don't know who designed Super Saiyan 3 Broly, but it was such a bad idea.
Why is it even Broly? Like, why? Haven't we had enough?
There's really no... Yeah, I know. Rare. Don't worry, we'll get God Broly in Dokkan soon.
Oh no.
He's gonna win the poll over Vegito Blue, even though he wasn't an option.
Are we gonna get that Goku fused with the audience card?
I hope so.
That'd be pretty cool. I just love how everyone thought it was Gogeta at first. I mean,
I also think it's funny that in that video, Vegeta's in the video, but Goku fuses with the audience instead of Vegeta.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like, just the shot, just the constant shot. And the thing that I love the most, spoilers for the Tournament of Power, is how he keeps saying that he's going to be the last one remaining. It's not going to happen. Just give it up.
It's not going to happen, yeah. Let it go.
Okay, so of course, in the #1 spot, the first summonable legendary rare, LR Gohan, and first featured on Global, and me and Zen were both fortunate enough to pull the man. And like we said earlier, his passive is just way ahead of his time. The fact that he gets an additional key per orb obtained just basically guarantees that he is going to get his 18 key super attack every single turn. And he's a nuker. You have to keep that in mind. He is a nuker. He has the highest damage potential out of any of the units here.
I'm pretty sure he can max the damage counter, can't he?
I think he can, yeah. What was it, like 999 million?
I think it's 99,999,999.
Like,
which is still absurd.
Ridiculously broken. The only thing that you can really fault him on, and to be fair, it's not even that much of a problem, is that his free ability is dodge.
Yeah, that's the only thing, but it doesn't matter. Like, it sucks that he doesn't get crit, but he still one-shots physical people anyway, so who cares?
It's just disgusting, and when you combine him with Rage Trunks and the Orb Changer Goku, it's just
hell,
like... Oh,
I'd argue dodge is better, because he doesn't even need crit, so right now it's just an extra defense, you know what I mean? Until crit becomes necessary for him to kill somebody, then what does it matter?
Like, there's one person out there that got a dupe from that ticket banner. And he is having a hell of a time, this guy.
Yeah, he's probably going to town.
God damn it. And I actually heard we're going to get 10 tickets as compensation.
Yeah, for one single pull. I'm excited for my Diamond Hercule.
I mean, I don't mind an Elder Kai. Like, if one of us pulls LR Gohan, I'm going to actually go insane. Like, what are the chances? Because I saw a lot of people pull him, like, first single, and the rates are like 2%. Can you imagine if this is, like, the one time, like, it's Nano's last chance to pull him from the second banner, and he actually does it?
If Nano gets it on the one free summon that we get, that man deserves some respect. I'll say that.
The chances of it happening are, like, super low, but... I mean, in hindsight, I think I got pretty lucky because I got him, like, 6th single, which is extremely lucky. Cause
yeah.
I've seen some people get him, like, go 20 tickets into it and not even get him. But the point is, this card is just ridiculously broken, despite having an incredible link there. He has Prepares for Battle, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, he has that LR link, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, just so many great links. He doesn't even need them, because he's going to super attack every single time anyway. He's going to get his 18 key super attack to go off. I mean, is there anything bad about this man?
No, not that I can think of. I can't think of a single thing that's bad.
Actually, it's bad rates. That's the one bad thing.
What was it?
The bad rates.
Oh, the rates. And his art sucks.
You think so?
His LR art sucks, man.
I think it's alright.
The TUR art was cool, and the SSR art is cool. That LR art sucks. He's all one color. Dude looks like he's made out of marble.
I know a lot of people hate the Majin Vegeta art because of his face.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the Jigglypuff face, Majin Vegeta. Yeah.
The wax doll.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, like I said earlier, Vegito Blue could potentially dethrone a man, and
If anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be Vegito Blue. I'll say that.
And that, like, even if he doesn't Dokkan Awaken from the current one, if they make him similar enough to the current card, even that is gonna be enough. So, any last words then?
If you didn't get Gohan, I'm sorry. I hope you get him in these this one free ticket in Global. If you're on JP and you didn't get Gohan, I'm sorry that Global got a higher chance to get him. Yeah.
And if you pull Majin Vegeta, I'm sorry.
Hey, you know, if you pull Majin Vegeta and that's the only LR you have, you be proud of him, alright?
You just cherish the man.
Cherish him and be ready to kick him to the bench the minute you get another one.
Oh my god. Zen, don't do this. We're gonna get so much hate just for saying that he's the worst one. But I'm sorry. Like, when Bandai made this card, they purposely made him to be the worst one. I bet you they knew they were gonna be this Broly, you know, like,
well, you know, I have a theory about why Vegeta is the worst one, and it's the one that came right after Gohan, because I think they made Gohan, and then they saw what people were doing, and they were like, oh, shit. Gohan's really good, so we gotta tone it down. And then they toned it down with Vegeta, and then everyone was like, well, who gives a shit? And they're like, okay, well, now no one's gonna pull on him, because they're not good, and Gohan's really good, so now we gotta make him good again. So then they put Broly out right afterward.
Just a better version of Majin Vegeta, but the only difference is that Majin Vegeta is the only one that has Mega Colossal in his 12th key, but does it even matter?
It
doesn't even matter.
It really doesn't.
Alright, well, thank you for joining me, Zen. And,
absolutely.
I'm hoping to see more consistent uploads from you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Alright, well,
I have a plan. I gotta enact the plan. I have a plan. It's just not ready to be put into action yet.
I'm looking forward to that. Of course, I will leave his channel link down below. Go check out the videos that we've done before, because we've done quite a few races. We have to do a few races on Global as well.
Yes, my hero team is getting pretty good, so I'm
looking forward to
doing that.
Definitely. Well, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who do you think the next LR is going to be? And if you do think it's going to be Vegito, like us, let us know what you want the cards to be like. Most likely going to be overpowered as shit. But yeah, hope you guys have a great... Yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one.
Bye.